Hi, Coach. Welcome to HSBN Media Days. Good to see you.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having us again.
So introduce yourself and the players you have here today.
I'm Jason Hamilton. I'm the head baseball coach at Cardinal Gibbons High School. This is our senior catcher, Eddie Marshall. This is a senior pitcher and third baseman, Brendan Trujillo. And that's our senior pitcher, Jack Campbell.
Excellent. So, Coach, any good memories from last season that you want to share with us?
Well, first off, on behalf of our coaches and players and parents, I want to thank the HSBN for all that you're going to do for us in advance. It's always a special day for us to come back and talk to you people. We had a pretty special spring. To win our second state championship in our school's history was a pretty memorable time for us. We were very, very flattered by all of the congratulatory remarks that we've had from all over town. 6 of the 7 of our coaches have played Little League baseball and high school baseball in Broward County. Our other one has coached at a level at the youth league. So we're very thankful for all of the congratulatory remarks from the baseball community here in South Florida, which is a tight-knit. And we've just been flattered by the outpouring of thanks, and I'm looking forward to start up again this year.
Excellent. So what is it like coming into the season as the defending champions? Do you feel like you're the hunted ones now?
No, you know what? We're a private school, so over time, we've always thought that there's always been a bullseye on our back simply because we're a private school, so we're kind of used to being, targeted. I guess there can be rhetoric about, now you're a private school and you're a state champion at the same time, so the bullseye's a little bit bigger, but we don't look at it like that. We just know that, teams, when they come and play us, they're going to have to be, they know they have to be prepared. They know that they're going to have to, battle to win and beat us and compete, and it's going to be a long day if they don't. So it's just one of those things where we're just used to it, and I don't think anything really ever changes in our coaches and our players' minds.
Right. So you have 15 guys returning from last year. Really, the core of the team is back. You've already won it with these guys, so nobody can question your confidence in getting back, but also know how tough the road is. So how do you prepare for those challenges?
Well, one challenge that we felt that was going to be a problem from the start being a state champion was, we weren't sure about, complacency. We weren't sure how, things were going to go. We're state champions. How are the kids going to respond to that? So, in my opinion, there's 2 ways to respond to that. Either you work harder than you did last year, because that's what's going to have to take to get back and get to our ultimate goal, or be complacent. Be complacent and just, we're the state champions and we don't have to work that much anymore. To start the year, our first 3-4 weeks of practice, I think there was one session that we were complacent. We shut down that session and we conditioned after that session, and we ran a little bit, and we haven't been complacent since. So complacency is not a thing anymore. We had a great week of practice. Everything was sharp, everything where it needs to be to get ready to go play pace on Tuesday night.
Excellent. And how do you like the new playoff changes going to the best of 3?
Originally, when I first found out about the best 2 out of 3, I don't like it from the start. I've been outspoken about that. My first thought was health. I wasn't sure about the health of players. High school seasons, we don't play double headers. We very seldom do we play 3 games in a row. That's one way to look at it. At Cardinal Gibbons, being that we have a lot of arms right now, we're liking the idea of the 2 out of 3, and teams that have arms, tons of arms. They're excited about this. Teams that don't and have the 1 or 2, they're not real sure about the best 2 out of 3. It's going to be tough, especially if you get to that game 3. I'm indifferent about it. I've always been outspoken about that. There's advantages and there's disadvantages. I feel bad for the medium teams. A team like MacArthur High School that made it to the state championship a couple years ago. Teams that only have 1 or 2 arms. It's going to be tough for them to advance. So, I think you're going to see a lot of the same names, the same teams, and same schools, and it's going to be hard for the others to get in there. And I think that's unfortunate as a high school baseball traditionalist that I am.
Right. And let's talk about your schedule. You start the season off with the HSBN First Pitch Frenzy Elite Invitational. What are some of the challenges to start the season in a tough tournament?
Well, there's always a challenge in our schedule because we always want to play the best. We want to put our kids in a situation where they're going to play the best, being put in every type of situation. So by the time the playoffs come around, there's going to be no surprises. To open up with the Jupiter, in game number 1, and come back with Miami Christian the next day, and maybe end up with a North Broward Prep at the end of the week, or someone of that caliber. That's going to be a punch in the face from the start, and I'm anxious to see how our kids are going to react to that. Moving forward with the schedule, at home we have a great home schedule. We're excited to have Douglas at home, and St. Thomas at home, and Heritage at home, and Chaminade at home, and a few others. My friend from Jacksonville, Zach Osbeck from Bishop Snyder, is going to come down and play us on a Saturday at home. So it's going to be a great home schedule. It's going to be a great schedule. We look forward to it. It's going to be a huge challenge for us, and we're going to see how we react when we get punched in the face very early.
And also, and you have a lot of road games too. Let me talk to the players for a minute. What is it like going on these road games? Is it good for you guys with these bus trips, the bonding and stuff like that? Who wants to take that question? Anyone?
Brennan, go ahead.
I think it's pretty good being able to go and travel all around the places to see like what competitions out and other places that we don't usually get to go see and stuff like that.
I know you guys bonded off the field as well as obviously probably in the field, but are you guys hanging out together? Talk about the chemistry of your team right now.
Yeah, of course. I think we do have a really good team chemistry because, especially like you said, we have so many kids returning, and we all know, especially because of the state championship last year, we've all bonded a ton during that trip, and it was a lot of fun being there for sure.
And how are you carrying the momentum from last year into this year now? Do you want to answer that?
Just try to, I mean, like last year was great. We won state championship, but this is a new year, and really we just got to keep playing hard. Don't feed into anything else. So I'm like, oh, who's pitching against us or who's doing this? Go out there, play our game, execute well like we did last year, and we should have no problem.
Awesome.
And Coach Allen, there are probably as many coaching styles as there are coaches. Take into account the makeup of this year's team. Are you going to be strong defensively, pitching? And what's going to be your approach on the field coaching these guys?
Well, at Cardinal Gibbons, our strength has always been pitching and team defense. Last year, we won a state championship with a bunch of, I joke, 220, 230 hitters. So nothing's really changed in that regard. One thing that has changed this year, being that it's a veteran experienced team, Howard, is, we teach the why we do things in our team offense, why we bunt, why we hit and run, why we slash and run, why we squeeze. We teach the why on team defense, why we want you moving in this place and being in that spot on a bunt and different things like that. I think what sets this team a little bit apart from others is that they're experienced, and I don't have to explain the why we're doing it. They already know, and we're very fortunate. I haven't had too many teams in my career personally where we've had young kids play varsity for such a long time. The majority of our kids that are on the team right now already have varsity experience. In fact, 100% of the players that are in the lineup already have varsity experience. We're not breaking in anyone new, and that's a very good advantage for us that the kids already know. I don't have to explain the why that much anymore. I don't have to teach that. So the strength of our team is going to be our pitching. If you want to, you always ask, and I hate answering this question, how are you going to be this year? How are you going to be? You never know. You never know how you're going to be. Your schedule dictates that. Your execution on the field dictates that. But looking at the first part of our year, we might swing it better. That's not saying too much, but I think we're going to put up some runs offensively that's going to help our pitching. Our defense is still solid right up the middle, and our team defense is solid and should execute at a high level. And that's what set last year's team apart from the rest. We just executed down the stretch and didn't miss anything offensively and defensively. So it's the same. Rewind from last year. It's the same group, but I just think that we might be able to hit a little bit better this year and score some runs and take some pressure off that pitching staff and that defense.
And to our players, as you all know, baseball is a major commitment. You all have aspirations of playing college ball and beyond. What's it like being a chief student athlete, being a varsity baseball player? Of course, when you walk through the halls with that state championship ring, there's no feeling like it, but now it's time to go back to work. What's it like combining your academics, athletics, the amount of hours you put in, et cetera? Any of the guys can answer that.
It's definitely a big thing, and but our hours, it's hard. It's definitely a commitment, but we have good teachers, good coaches, and they understand what we have to do and the sacrifices we make for school. And we're student athletes, so school has to come first.
And then with the chemistry of the team, how are you guys motivating the younger players? I mean, you guys, defending champions this year, you're hopefully to repeat this year. How are you guys motivating the younger guys? Because you're heavy on the veterans here, so how are you motivating the younger guys to keep this going? Answer that.
I would say during practice, everyone has a role of what they need to do during practice, so we make sure everyone's doing their roles and specific duties that they need to do during practice and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we just keep them up to it and upheld them.
Right. Anything else you want to add for this year for the players? This is your senior year. No. Coach, what's your hopes for the season? I'll say that.
Well, when you're in this business, I think you have three types of goals. You have short-term goals, you have long-term goals, and then you have ultimate goals. Your short-term goals are individual and team goals. What do you want to do from the start? Your long-term goal, is moving on, getting to the playoffs and then moving on. Then there's the ultimate goal of winning your last game and winning a state championship. So what's interesting about this group is that we got to experience that ultimate goal. And you don't get to do that very much in life, whether it's baseball, school, life, jobs, family, socially. And we got to experience that. So I think having that in our back pocket and knowing the feeling of what it was like to win that, I think that goes a long way. I think just overall the way that we handle ourselves at Cardinal Gibbons, the tradition that we have, the backing that we have from our school. We always talk about how that always wins us a couple more games in the spring, but now in the back of our minds, we can do it. And there's something to that. I really believe there's something to that. Now we know that we can do it, and our goal right now is to get to that first game of the region. If we can get into the region and we have a shot, and you never know what happens, and we got to live that last year, and we know what it takes, and it was just such a good feeling, and every one of our kids and coaches and players, parents, we just want to get back. We just want to experience that again and be able to do that for every team moving forward. So that's where we're at right now, and we're excited to get going. And honestly, I think we're ready to play somebody else. We're tired of beating up on each other, and I think this team needs a common enemy right now. I think we'll just continue to grow and come together next week when we start going up against somebody else.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for coming out today for HSBN Media Days, and we'll see you on the field soon.
Thank you again for everything.